Hello, this is Tim from Two Blokes From Blighty, and before we get into our regular episode, we're going to hear a podcast from what? Slade?
Does he play games?
I think he hates them.
Take it away, Slade, after being slated by Tim.
Hello, I'm Slade from the Game Club podcast. I'd like you to join me on my sub-series, Between Two Pods, where once every 2 weeks, I bring on a different podcaster to interview them.
Ooh, another white boy with a podcast.
International Day of the Girl Child. Here I go, here I go, here I go again. Girls, what's my weakness? Men.
You know my email address, don't you?
Yeah, isn't it bigwillytim at willywillywilly.com?
Very close. It's bigwillytim@bigcockslap.org. Swedish citizens can opt into a thing called Dial a Random Swede.
You think a week in Newcastle is expensive till you wait until you get to Reykjavik.
I had Russians shouting at me. I had people asking me questions of a British man. It's wild. There is no possible way of knowing what you wake up to. Picture of up their own arse Tory rich politician standing on a guide dog.
Can you direct that at Slade, who was not happy about you slagging off golf?
I have a feeling that Paine might actually kill me if I do it again.
Here I go, here I go, here I go again. Girls, what's my weakness? Men. Welcome back to Two Blokes From Blighty. I am one of your hosts, Joey Fitzgerald, and I am joined by the incandescent Tim Fitzgerald.
You've done that one.
Oh, bollocks. I am joined by the dry Tim Fitzgerald.
Right. Hello, everyone. I didn't quite know how to speed up the reaction on that one. How are you doing, Joey?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
My skin is like sandpaper right now.
When I said
horrible.
When I said incandescent and I'd already said it, I looked around my desk and the first word I read was dry because of the deodorant that's on it. So I went with it.
All right, fair enough. On the topic of salt and pepper, have you ever seen Patrick Stewart introducing them on Saturday Night Live?
No, but it sounds wonderful.
So Patrick Stewart is an absolute gem anyway. But he almost sounds surprised when he introduces pepper because he's like, and now performing this hit, salt and pepper.
Very good. Very good. Tim, let's start with a regular spot. Let's hear a pub quiz question.
Pub quiz question. This one is for all the board gamers.
Those board gamers.
In the world of board games, what is the maximum number of players allowed in a game of Settlers of Catan?
I think it's 8.
8? Okay, no problem.
Can you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Tell me if it's right. That's wrong. Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, have you ever played Catan?
No.
Oh, it's so fun. It's basically just fuck over your friends for about an hour and a half.
That's all board games, isn't it?
Mostly, yes, outside of maybe Scrabble.
I think even Scrabble you meant to fuck over someone.
Suppose, yeah.
Tim, would you like some national days?
Of course I would, absolutely.
There are some good ones here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll start with National Sausage on Pizza Day.
Okay, yeah.
International Day of the Girl Child.
The Girl Child?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very strange way of phrasing it.
National Coming Out Day.
Sure, okay.
National Fossil Day.
Okay. Sure.
2 more. The last one is my favourite. National Take Your Parents to Lunch Day.
Okay, pretty wholesome.
My favourite one, National Pet Obesity Awareness Day.
Right, okay. So I feel like a lot of the previous ones could lead up to Pet Obesity Awareness Day.
Yeah. So what are we going for, Tim?
I am going to go with... Yeah, let's go with Pet Obesity Awareness Day.
Okay, cool.
Just for the simple fact that round dogs are very funny sometimes.
I like it.
Yeah.
Tim, where do you want to go to next? Have you got any crazy stuff to bring to the pod?
I have. I've got 4 topics that I've written down because,
Well-
as a lot of you know, I write things down throughout the week to talk about on this podcast.
Are any of them crazy?
One of them is fun. I'll go through one of my very quick ones.
Hold on, Tim. Let's start with the fun one. But before we do that,
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
so this is our "Oh damn, that's crazy" section. Tim,
Okay, I see what you were going for. One of the notes I've just written here is my colleague woke up at 5 a.m. the other day before work to watch the first half of The Godfather and then came to work.
what? They woke up specifically to watch the first
They
half
came
of
over
The
to my
Godfather.
desk at like 8 a.m. the other day and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And she goes, "I'm tired. I got up at 5 a.m. to watch The Godfather for about an hour, and then I got ready for work." I was like, "Why did you watch The Godfather for an hour?" She's like, "I wanted to do that last night, but I didn't get round to it."
Only the first half.
She only got through the first half. I've no idea if she got through the second.
Why doesn't? I've got so many questions. Why doesn't she wait and not get up at 5 o'clock?
That was my first question.
Did she answer?
Well, I didn't ask her. I just what
Oh.
questions I have in mind.
What a letdown, Tim. The second one, why did she stop when she did?
I think to get ready for work. She's told me before that she leaves her house at like 6 a.m. to get to work.
Okay, so if you're going to watch The Godfather, did she set an alarm for this?
I'm assuming so.
So, oh,
I don't think we get this much mileage out of this one little note.
but I just... If you set an alarm and say, I'm going to watch The Godfather, I would look at the runtime of The Godfather
Mm-hmm.
and watch The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
What she's done is gone, I'll watch about an hour of it. We'll see where we're at.
Are there any movies that you would do that for? Just like get an hour in and go like, nah, I'm going to work now.
Only ones that I didn't enjoy. I wouldn't get up at 5 o'clock for them. I did when the last series of Breaking Bad was released. I used to get up early first thing on a Monday
Mm-hmm.
so that I could watch it. So when I went to work, no one could spoil it for me.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty dedicated. I can remember being really, really far behind on Breaking Bad when this is when it was currently airing, and I managed to watch. What was it? Was it 5 or 6 seasons?
5 seasons.
5 seasons. I watched basically 5 seasons of Breaking Bad in about a week, and
Fucking hell.
got caught up just in time for the final to come out on Netflix.
Wow.
I know. It was very,
Wow.
very intense. The other thing that I've
Hold
got...
on.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
So that was crazy. Tim,
was
what else have
crazy.
you got?
So, I love a scam text message and a scam call because I'll just fuck with
Okay.
them. I got not one, but 2 yesterday.
Okay.
2 scam texts, and I'd like us to read them like a bit like a script. You're going to be me, and I'm going to be the scammer
Okay. Are you going to send it to me on Discord so we
on
can read
Discord.
along?
So this is the first
Oh.
one.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, let me know when you got it.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Excuse me, do you still need a job?
Who is this?
Ashley is my name. I work for JobSite UK companies. This is our offer. Part-time, £28 to £32 an hour. Yada, 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 job details.
What's the job?
If you meet the above requirements, I'll assign you to a person... I'll assign you the person in charge to send you the project details and salary package to your WhatsApp as reference. Would that be fine? And then the response to what is the job. This is a freelance job that can be done part-time or full-time. You can develop your sideline during the free time without worrying about affecting your primary job. If you're interested in the job, I will assign my person in charge to contact you and give you detailed introduction. Is that okay?
Freelance what? Are you telling me that I can get a freelance and then you've sent a gif of jousting? As in, for this? Does the job come with my own horse or do I need to supply my own? And also, who do I talk to about armor? I have some ideas, and ideas has sparkly emojis around it.
That's it. Now, I got this one about 4 hours later.
Oh my god, this is long. Okay.
All right. So, hello.
Are you here to give me my freelance? Last time also mentioned a horse.
Nice to meet you. My name is Adam. I'm from NGS Global Recruitment Company. We have a great remote job with a good salary. Can I send you the details?
Do I get a freelance?
And then he replied, sure. Before I give you this job, could you just check that you meet the job
Hold
requirement?
on, you missed one of my lines.
Did I?
Yeah, I made plans to go jousting this weekend.
Oh, right, yeah. Before I share this job, could you please check if you meet the job requirements? Be a British or visa holder, a British, I've just noticed that. Be over 18 years old and have a bank account to receive salary. Do you meet the job requirements?
That depends. Do I also get a horse, like the last guy said?
It's a very easy job to work from home with good money and will not affect your current job or business. I promise. Just do whatever you feel like.
Okay, but where do we settle on the horse? And who do I speak to about my armor measurements? And you've sent the same jousting gif.
To a different number. So I am in charge of only the job requirements. If you're interested in this job, could you please check the basic requirements first?
You've sent a picture of enough with the zodiac signs. What's your favorite medieval helmet? And you said, what helmet style do you think is the most flattering? I like a great helm, but I think armors are due to make a comeback. Has to match the rest of my armor, of course.
And then, maybe 20 minutes later, I didn't get a response.
Oh, yeah. 19 minutes later. I know this kind of choice is hard, but I think we can both agree that the frog mouth is out. That's the kind of thing that a bitch Brittany would wear. And the nail painting emoji. Like, can you believe her? God, I hope she and Brad break up. Anyway, I want your opinions with the story emoji on the helmet.
Maybe 10 minutes
another
later.
10 minutes. Hello, bestie. That's actually hello. And then an hour later, bestie. And then he said, I'm sorry, was it the frogmouth helmet comment? I shouldn't have said anything, even if it is Brittany's favourite with a vomiting emoji.
They did not respond.
That's very good. I enjoyed that, Tim.
Thank you.
Maybe we could do that more often.
If as soon as I get scam texts, I will be sure to let you know because I love messing with them.
So I don't know if you're a keen, avid watcher of the Talking Smack Discord. Josh sent a screenshot of where is it? It's in the general one, but I can't find general. There it is. He sent a screenshot of a email that he got, and it says it's from Director FBI 891@gmail.com. He says, I'm the director of FBI. I'm Mr. Christopher, and I have associated with the bank authority and manager David Malpass to speak to you and handle the final expert option to deliver your fund worth over $8 million. I want to inform you that one man, Richard Melody, just came out of our office yesterday in the morning and claimed that you are not alive, and you sent him to receive the package on your behalf. But I told him before we will release the package to him that I must text you first to know if he's telling the truth or not. Your urgent response is needed now. And I said, it's got to be legit. He couldn't get that email address without being the director of the FBI.
Yeah, very true.
Scam texts are wonderful, aren't they?
I've just found another one in my WhatsApp messages if you want to do that one as
yes,
well.
I do. Let's do it. This is good content, Tim.
All right, are you ready?
Oh my God, this is wordy. Okay, yeah, let's go.
All right, it's mostly wordy on my end, to be honest. So,
yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Who is this?
I'm the manager of our company. At present, due to increase in online business volume, the company needs to recruit some part-time employees. Just work on your phone for 20 or 40 minutes a day and earn up to 200 to 1,500 GBP per day. The work is simple without difficulty, and there are special personnel responsible for guidance. If you are interested in learning more about this job, I will give you the contact details of our receptionist as soon as possible so you can get in touch with him.
What is your name? Your name is not the manager of the company.
And then they just sent a phone number.
And then you said, answer me, coward.
The above information is the contact information of our receptionist. If you have enough time to work, please contact him for more information.
contact him. The name on the contact is Mary. I imagine you meant Mr. Manager of the company. What is your first name? And they never responded.
Yeah. Just a great little interaction. If I get a decent amount of these scam WhatsApps.
Why have you put your number in that's getting you these? Because I never get them.
I don't know. I just get a decent amount of them on WhatsApp. Sometimes I'll get maybe 1 or 2 a week, and then like I'll go months without any.
Oh, that's a shame. That was fun. I enjoyed that, Tim.
I've got one here as well. I don't want to go through it right now, but it's me asking what an Evelyn is for about 10 minutes.
I'm glad your humour is unparalleled.
What else have I got on here? Fun little callback to our episode a couple of weeks ago. Black Sabbath ballet.
Yes, okay, talk to me.
So, Joey, what do you remember about the Black Sabbath ballet topic?
You were in a promotional video where they asked you about all your experience of Black Sabbath. And if you won, you got free tickets to go and see Black Sabbath, the ballet.
Guess who fucking won? Guess who couldn't go?
You?
Yes. Interestingly, I got a call from the head of marketing for the Royal Ballet for the UK, who I guess was organising this, and was like, "Hi, is that Tim?" And I was like, "Yeah, speaking." I went, "Hi, my name's Kate. You entered a Black Sabbath contest." I was like, "Oh shit, okay." They were like, "We tried to send you out the tickets a couple of weeks ago, but I guess we sent it to the wrong email, but we actually got a response back saying they thought it was spam." So I don't know if you want to beep. I suppose you should beep out the email. You know my email address, don't you?
Yeah, isn't it Big Willy Tim at willywillywilly.com?
Very close. It's bigwillytim at bigcockslap.org. No, it's my email's at.
Do you want that bleeped?
Yes, and also the next thing beeped. They sent an email to, and amazingly, they got a response from someone being like, "I thought this was spam," and they called me on the day of the concert to be like, "Hey, you having these tickets or not?"
So you called me,
I called
and
you, Dad,
I was in the pub.
Yep, I called Dad, I called Mum, I called a couple of people that I knew from school. I put it in our work WhatsApp group. Amazingly, if you get free tickets or something, you can't fucking give them away.
Well, you can't give them away with about 3 hours' notice.
Well, that's all the notice I had.
That's your fault.
Eventually, someone did take them. Someone from work who happened to be going to Birmingham that night and was looking for something to do.
Oh, really? Did they enjoy it?
I've not seen them since, so maybe they died. I don't know.
Oh, that was funny, Tim. You caught me off guard.
Yeah. I hope they had a good time in their final moments. Rip Mark.
When they were just going down the crazy train. Did they take the crazy train there?
I thought it was the crazy bus.
I'm going off the rails like a crazy bus.
Doesn't really work.
No.
What's
I was trying to think of any other Black Sabbath.
They're paranoid the ticket wouldn't work.
Yes, very good.
Anyone else?
I'm not really bringing much to the table here. I've genuinely forgotten every single Black Sabbath song apart from Headless Cross and War Pigs.
Yeah, War Pigs is a classic. I was about to say Can I Play With Madness, but that's Iron Maiden. I don't know. Either way, won the contest. Clearly not a big Black Sabbath fan.
Well, you weren't camping outside waiting to go in.
Well, I didn't know until about 3 hours before the event.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
By the way, it turns out it was only one ticket. I at least thought it was a pair of tickets.
Was Mark flying solo?
He must have been, unless he smuggled someone into the ballet.
Fair enough. Tim, so I thought I would bring a new section.
Yes.
To the podcast. I don't have a jingle for it, which I wish I did. Some interesting or things I've learnt this week that sound unbelievable but are actually true.
Okay.
So something I found I've got two this week, which I think one of them is really interesting. One of them is a little bit disgusting.
Interesting, yeah.
The first one, the interesting one. Did you know that TVs emit a tone inaudible to humans that your smartphone picks up when it's playing adverts? And that's how, when you're watching telly and adverts come on, you get related targeted ads to your phone. It's through a tone that's put out through your TV speakers that you can't hear, but your smartphone hears.
That's amazing.
How clever is that?
Did you know about TVs? You know when you get static on a TV channel?
Mm-hmm.
That's fallout from the Big Bang.
No, it's not.
It's true. Look it up.
No, that's all the pixels having a rave.
Oh, okay.
I lied. I've actually got two more, but one of them is more fun than the other.
All right.
So, if you go to a train station, imagine you're going to a train station, Tim. What train station would you go to that is like not just a platform? It's got a room. The trains come in. A bit like Bristol.
Yeah, I was going to say Bristol Temple Mead.
Okay, Bristol Temple Meads. On average, the air you breathe in a train station is 15% human skin.
I'm getting the train tomorrow. That's really gross.
Yeah. But if you think a train station, leaving the train station, you think, oh, I'm so glad I'm not breathing in all this human skin anymore. You know when you see daylight and you can see dust particles floating in that? 80% of the floating specks you see in a sunbeam are also human skin.
So where was that?
When you see floating dust particles.
Just out and about?
Mm-hmm.
That's really gross.
Yeah, that's what you breathe in.
Cool. Love that. Hannibal Lecter's having a field day.
Yeah, he's just taking a
hyperventilating.
Taking a straw to Bristol Temple Meads. The last thing that I found, which is like a multifaceted fact, which I thought you'd really enjoy, is you are 10 times more likely to get bitten by a New Yorker than a shark.
Oh. I mean, I'm definitely putting that in my obsidian vault.
You're also more likely to get bitten by a New Yorker than you are to get bitten by a rat in New York.
Really?
Really.
That's amazing.
Mm.
Did you know?
Chompy lads, those those New Yorkers.
Those New Yorkers. Hey, I'm chewing here. Did you know that all of Iceland's food, the country, not the supermarket,
is it from Iceland?
It's not from Iceland. It's entirely locally sourced. They don't import food. This actually meant that McDonald's had to scrap their plans for expansion because it just wasn't viable. But it did lead to the creation of Iceland's own McDonald's knockoff called Metro.
Really?
Yeah. So companies like KFC have been able to set up out there because they can locally source and produce all their chicken and sauce and potatoes and all that, while in Iceland, but companies like McDonald's can't.
Wow.
I think that's bloody interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you know any other fun things about Iceland?
I do actually, because I did a page on them on my Obsidian. For those who don't know, Obsidian is basically just like a big note-taking app, but you can create like interconnecting topics and like a big old chart. Iceland. I do know they have one of the world's oldest parliaments.
Parliament of Owls.
Not a Parliament of Owls. Although one of ChatGPT's quiz question was, what's a plural of flamingos, which I thought was very relevant.
The Northern Boy said that in our Discord chat.
He did.
Isn't it a fandango of flamingos?
It is, or something like that. They also have two of their exports. They have two big exports, Iceland. They have raw aluminium and fish.
The latter doesn't surprise me.
No, but like it's dried fish, fish flakes, fish food, fish acclimable water, that sort of thing. That's their entire export is that and aluminium. They also have the world's largest whale rehabilitation from captivity to wild center, which is very cool.
The world's strongest man is from Iceland.
That's true. That's Hafthor Julius Bjornsson.
Yeah, he's a Hafthor Julius prick.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
He played the Mountain in Game of Thrones. I know that.
I know. Can I tell you a secret about Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I've watched up to season 3.
Yeah.
People said that it got good before then. I thought it was really boring.
It depends on if you like fantasy stuff, I suppose.
But I do like fantasy stuff.
Because I know you like Lord of the Rings.
Love Lord of the Rings. I don't go a day without watching it.
Live and breathe it like the Roman Empire.
Exactly. Except for I never think about the Roman Empire, and neither do you. But yeah, I don't know why I never vibed with it. I never got it. I didn't think it was interesting or well shot. I thought it looked really cheap, was really boring, and went off of shock factor.
There was a lot of who's gonna die? Oh, I didn't expect them to die.
Oh, I didn't expect that sibling to shag that other sibling.
Yeah,
that kind of encapsulates what I think of Game of Thrones in one sentence.
Just to go back to Iceland, there was one thing that I really picked up. One of the template things that I've got for my Obsidian is for countries I break down like religious demographics just to see what like the majority of religions and how they break down are for a country. 69% of Iceland is evangelical Lutherans.
Nice.
Don't know what that is. 3.8% are Roman Catholic,
Nice.
which is very low. But then they have, because Iceland's population as of 2021 is a little over 375,000 people. They have religions that are entirely centralized within Reykjavik and I can't pronounce his name. Hafnarfjordur. Sure. But they have religions that are entirely based within those two cities, and they still fall within the top 5 religious demographics of Iceland.
Very interesting.
Iceland's a fascinating place, but it's the kind of thing you don't just go, "Oh, I'm going off to Iceland to see what's there." Like you have to like plan something there.
That's not true. Jenny and I planned to go to Iceland.
We did as well. We wanted to go to Reykjavik and see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, that's exactly why we planned it. But have I told you this story about how we actually paid for it and got a refund almost immediately because of one tiny detail?
No.
So it was for our honeymoon. After we got married.
Sure.
And we booked Reykjavik. So Jenny's always wanted to see the Northern Lights. We've been lucky enough to see them from a plane. But we thought, let's go to Iceland, see the Northern Lights. We'll do the Blue Lagoon. We'll do whale watching. We'll do the whole shebang. It'd be really good. And we found this package that was like reasonably priced because Iceland is really expensive. And we called them up, went through it. It was a travel agent, sounded fine, paid for it, considerable amount, but very reasonable for the holiday that it was.
Sure.
Only then did I realise that they said the hotel is a 15-minute walk from the Blue Lagoon. And I thought, hold on. The Blue Lagoon on the map is in the middle of Iceland. When I Google Maps the Blue Lagoon to you know what the Blue Lagoon is, right? It's natural spring. People go. It's a pretty big tourist attraction. I mapped it out. Google Maps. How long the walk is? 4.5 days.
4.5 days.
So I called the travel agent back and said, on your website it says this. This is not true. This is wrong. It would take me 4 days to walk there across some pretty challenging terrain. And that's putting it lightly.
Yes, it's very mountainous.
The man on the phone said, no, this is the address of the Blue Lagoon. It's a 15-minute walk from your hotel. When I put it in, the Blue Lagoon that they were advertising, bear in mind this package was nearly sold out, so it was very popular. The Blue Lagoon Spa Massage Parlour in Reykjavik.
Okay. Right.
So there would be a lot of disappointed people in Reykjavik around the time of that package.
That's amazing.
It's pretty ballsy from the travel agent.
I mean, it is, yeah. Do you know, I'm actually just looking at flights to Reykjavik because we want to go away for our anniversary next year. And
Tim, I'm all loved up.
Yeah, a little bit. And flights to Reykjavik, not bad actually.
Yeah, but it's everything else once you're there.
So I hear.
You think a week in Newcastle is expensive, Tim? You wait until you get to Reykjavik, and you have to spend all your time in. What was it called? Metro.
Metro, the knockoff McDonald's, and
Yeah.
real KFC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only other topic I've got written down for this week, I need to put my. Oh yeah. Speaking of vaguely Scandinavian places, did you hear? This is maybe going back a year or two now. What the country of Sweden did to celebrate 250 years of tourism?
Burnt tourists alive.
They burn them at the stake. No, they had a thing where the Swedish citizens could opt into a thing called Dial a Random Swede, and the Swedish Tourism Board set up a phone number for people to call, and they would just be assigned a random Swede to ask questions to about Sweden.
Okay.
I
Wow.
wanted to try this, and unfortunately the number has been taken down, but it did remind me of an old alarm clock app that I used to have on my phone.
Why?
So I used to have this alarm on my phone, and I wish I could remember the name of it. But instead of setting out an alarm tone, anyone who opts into the app will just get a notification, and this is anyone on the planet, will just get a notification to give you a call at the time that you want to be woken up.
That would be vile.
I had Russians shouting at me. I had people asking me questions of a British man. It's wild. There is no possible way of knowing what you wake up to.
That sounds absolutely awful.
It was hilarious for maybe a week.
How long ago did you use that?
Oh, this is going back like 4 years ago now, so it's a while.
That sounds really horrible.
Would you not do
It
it?
would be like, no, it would be like waking up to someone in your bedroom shouting at you.
I mean, it was a bit like that, yeah. I had one Russian say, "Where are you? I'll get you out of bed myself." It's like, fucking hell.
So did you ever call anyone else and say?
I called one person. I was very polite. I was like, "Hey, it's your alarm clock. Time to get up." That was about
it. Did they say thank you?
No, it was like, "Oh yeah, thank you." I think it was an American I got.
Did it not charge you?
No, because it's all done through the app.
Oh. Let's find out what that app's called.
I'm sure I can find it. Alarm clock. Someone calls you. Wakey. That's the one.
Wakey.
Wakey. A stranger asked me if I was awake, to which I replied with muffled groans and words. Thanks, Wakey. Wakey, the social alarm clock, is an app designed to replace your normal alarm clock and let strangers wake you up through a phone call. Designed like a normal alarm, each user sets up a time to be woken up, and a user will call you.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
We should have a thing for the audience where they try it for maybe a week and they report back what they have.
Well, if they want to try it and report back, that's great, because I am not fucking doing it.
I have a feeling that Paine might actually kill me if I do it again.
Yeah, there we go. Tim, so I've got a question for you.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth! Out your mouth! Keep my wife's mouth out your mouth!
It's who's Will Smith beating up?
Well, the section is called "Keep My Wife's Mouth Out Your Mouth." So, Tim, who's Will Smith beating up and where?
Will Smith has gone overseas and is beating up Ulf Kristersson, the Swedish Prime Minister, for terminating the Swedish tourism phone number thing.
I think that's a fair one.
Yeah. What about you, Joey?
So, a little segue to our next section. Will Smith is slapping the shit out of Rishi Sunak for being an insufferable wanker.
Yes. Yeah, we don't often talk politics on this show because, let's face it, there's a lot of drivel on here. But
well, there's a lot of drivel on here, but there's even more drivel within the British politics system.
Behind the doors of number 10 right now. Joey, what's Rishi done?
So Rishi is a bit of a prick, basically. He has so something they do in the UK. I think they do it in America as well, as they have a party conference.
Mm-hmm.
And as a part of the Tory party conference, which Rishi Sunak represents, they're in charge of the country, he delivered a speech today. And he did two things within this speech that make him more of a wanker than you could ever imagine. He said the sentence, "A man is a man and a woman is a woman. Misgendering people is common sense."
That's a baffling sentence to begin with, because it's saying that it's like saying misunderstanding is common sense. If you're knowingly doing something that is tantamount, the total opposite of what the intended thing is, and then saying it's the intended way of doing it, it's backwards to say the least.
Yeah. So what he's done is said it's basically fine to misgender trans people.
Spoiler: it's not.
No, it's absolutely not. The other thing he did was cancel HS2. Now, HS2, sorry, I should rephrase that so it's correct. He cancelled the second part of HS2. So HS2 is a high-speed railway that has... Actually, Tim, how much do you think this has already cost the country?
God, I remember it being in place when I fucking moved out of Birmingham, and that was 2013?
Okay,
2014?
so 10 years ago, at
10 years.
least.
It's going to be like 30, 40 million, if not more. 120 million?
More.
500 million?
55 billion pounds.
55 billion?
Yes.
That's how much it's cost already, and he's scrapped it.
And he scrapped the second half of it, yeah.
Like, I'm not one for saying that people should lean into the sunk cost fallacy, but, at some point, 55 billion in the hole, you better finish the job.
So the thing I really like about this is, so there's a couple of things that are really good. First of all, scrapping the second half means that you don't get the high-speed link between Manchester and Birmingham. And the route was meant to be Manchester to Birmingham to London, and I think there might have been a Liverpool to Manchester link as well there. I'm not sure. So the first thing I'd like to point out, they're keeping the Birmingham to London link. No problem at all with that. If that was the plan, no problem. If you were to get a regular train to London, and then you were to get HS2 from Birmingham to London, how much time do you think it saves you?
It's going to be like half an hour at most, isn't it?
36 minutes.
Right, okay, so not much difference at all.
55 billion pounds so that you can save something roughly the length of a Simpsons episode and a half.
So it would make sense if the high-speed link was going from Manchester to London, and that was just a straight shot. I could completely understand.
Yeah, because it's a long journey.
Exactly.
Whereas you can get from Birmingham to London in probably an hour and 45.
Yeah, it's far. It's actually part of the reason that Bristol's prices have gone up. Actually, it's because of how convenient it already is to get to London, rather.
Yeah.
So the thing with local kind of Bristol housing is that because you can be in London from Bristol in about an hour and some change. People from London are just saying, well, why don't we just live in Bristol where we don't have to pay London's living costs, but still be in a reasonable commute?
And now they do.
And that's what drove up Bristol prices. And if high-speed link and its 36-minute saving train journey is anything to go by, I would expect to see the same of Birmingham. But if I'm honest, I don't expect to see the same of Birmingham because high-speed link 2 is kind of shit for $55 billion.
On top of that, Rishi Sunak also said, don't worry, Manchester, we're going to improve your links as well. So they pledged to extend the Metro link, which is the tram system, to extend the line to Manchester Airport. Great promise. It'd be really good for the city of Manchester if it hadn't already gone to the airport since 2014.
It's already been in place for the last 9 years. Then what was the other one about Leeds?
So I can't remember the exact wording of it, but he essentially said that trains between Sheffield and Leeds, which are two cities within the same county, so not hugely far apart. Trains between Sheffield and Leeds would be 5 times more frequent than they already are. There's already a train between Leeds and Sheffield every 10 minutes. So he's expecting a train between the two cities every 2 minutes.
It's a stupid, ill-guided, and ignorant. On the topic of ill-guided and ignorant notions from the Tories, there was also a big article that came out yesterday. This is coming from The Independent, and the headline is "Trans Women to be Banned from Female NHS Wards as Steve Barclay, Health Secretary, insists Tories know what a woman is," which is fucking deplorable, if you ask me. And he was saying that, like, the Health Secretary promised in his conference speech to restore common sense, in inverted commas, to the health service and recognise the importance of biological sex in healthcare. Yes, biological sex in healthcare is important, but that also doesn't change the fact that trans women are also women.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but
get with fucking times, Barclay.
According to the Tory party, they don't exist, and it's absolutely fine to misgender someone.
Fucking stupid, and I pray, hand on heart, on my knees, praying that we don't have a Tory government when's the general election next year?
Yeah.
I beg that we don't have a Tory government next year.
I think I said to you before we started recording, I think the problem is we've had a Tory government for the last 13 years.
Without a real general election for it either.
Well, there have been a couple of general elections, but they have been they've been tactically timed to be in Tory's favour. But I think the problem is that we're so far down the road with shitty Tory elitist policies that even if we do get a Labour government, the argument for the general election after that is going to be, well, wasn't any better under the Labour government, but they'll spend their whole time trying to fix what the Tories have fucked up and
essentially they
signalled austerity across the country. It's
whoever is
it's a bit of a dire situation, really.
Whoever's in after the Tories is already starting 30 feet deep in a hole, and they've been given maybe 6 feet of like sand and soil and concrete to dig themselves out with.
Yeah, so can I give you another headline and sub-headline from the Tory party conference?
Absolutely.
Suella Braverman, who is the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman apologises to all dogs out there after unfortunate incident. Have you seen this?
I haven't.
So, the sub-headline, the Home Secretary, who was accused of a homophobic rant during vile conference speech, was pictured stepping on an unfortunate dog's tail during the Tory party conference. She stood on a guide dog, Tim.
She stood on a guide dog?
She stood on a guide dog. And, on top of that, only a still picture, so you don't get the full image, doesn't look like she moved.
So,
just stood on it.
Is that not very emblematic and symbolic of the current Tory leadership?
Yes.
All right, good. If anyone wants to know what our politics system in the UK currently looks like, picture a up their own arse Tory rich politician standing on a guide dog.
Yeah.
She hasn't moved. Is she wearing heels?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So there's the picture. She stood on the guide dog. And if anyone wanted to know which way Tim and my politics swing, it's not Tory.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Fuck the Tories.
Fuck the Tories.
Anything else you want to talk about, Tim?
Should we get the pub quiz question answer?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. So the question was, in the world of board games, what is the maximum number of players allowed in a game of Settlers of Catan? The maximum number of players that are allowed is 6. If anyone hasn't played Catan, go play it. Go play it on Tabletop Sim. Go buy a physical copy, especially if you can get 3D Catan. It's very, very fun.
Do you have 3D Catan?
No, but our next door neighbours do, and we want to get a regular copy of Catan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Just about setting up trades and blocking off resources for other players.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Tim, I'm going to tell you really quickly, because we don't have heaps of time, but we also did get moaned at in our Discord about how short the episode was this week. I might put all the moans together and do a little reading next week. Fun. So you got called out for slagging off golf last week, which
I will stand by
don't-
that. Golf is the perfect picture of what is exactly wrong with the class divide and use of regional land. So, if you think that setting out a big old field of perfectly usable land for that can be done for homes, horticulture, agriculture, whatever the case may be, but instead you'd rather have rich dickheads hit a tiny ball around a field with a stick, you are looking at the problem wrong. I will stand by it.
Can you direct that at Slade, who was not happy about you slagging off golf?
He knows I don't like golf. I don't know why he's surprised.
Fair enough.
Mini golf's fine. That's like in a bar or something. But regular golf, no, for dickheads and run by dickheads.
Cool. And then, so what else was I going to say to you from the Discord? So we got a poem because it's random poetry day.
It is random poetry day today. Yep.
So Northern Boy said, today my massive order came in. Rather than handling, I chucked it in the bin. There's too much stuff, too much junk. I'd rather be listening to some funk.
I too would rather be listening to funk than handling my job today.
Rather than handling your junk.
Yeah.
I also got a poem from friend of the pod, Jess, but it's on my work laptop and I ain't opening that up again.
No.
Thank you for the
Hi,
poem, Jess. I really appreciated it. And then there was an argument about golf versus baseball.
Baseball wins. Sorry, golfers.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was something else I was going to tell you, but I can't even remember what it was.
Well, I mean, I've got Discord notifications muted on my phone at the minute. I think it's a really refreshing thing to do, is just to mute as many notifications as possible.
Mute as much feedback on the podcast as possible.
Not even that, just Discord as a whole. But like, I opened up Discord today to record some lines that you requested that I'm still curious about.
Yeah. I'll tell you what it is after the recording.
Okay, cool. I think I have an idea, but it'd be good to get a more better idea.
It's not a jingle.
No, I figured.
Okay.
But then I opened up the two blokes from Blighty chat and just saw people getting angry at golf, having an argument about baseball. Baseball wins. Sorry.
Mm. You also sent me a video of our game of Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah,
So
we
Tim
played Baldur's Gate the other day.
Yep, we played it. The Northern
fun?
Boy Paine, Tim, and myself. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, but the video is the most fun part. Can you explain what's happening in the video?
So I am playing a dwarf bard, and I forget what my character's name is, but it's something stupid, I'm sure. And Joey's gone and made Howard from the Halifax adverts, and if you're a British individual, you'll know who exactly that is. But Joey has also decided to make them run around in the buff the entire game, and Joey is also a barbarian, so he's just got massive strength. And Joey spent a lot of time in that session throwing me off of things or throwing me up cliffs, so I couldn't make my way with the rest of the party.
I had no, so I right clicked on you thinking I was going to do a ranged attack. I thought I saw, throw. So I did it, and it was, do you know what? It was immensely fun. If you know any bards that are dwarves and you're a barbarian, then I thoroughly recommend throwing them up a cliff.
So Paine and I are doing this fun little game at the minute where if someone doesn't want to do something, it's a bit like What Are the Odds, but we're like rolling for different things. Like we kind of made little D&D character sheets for each other, and we have to roll based on like charisma or luck or strength or whatever to go and do a job that needs doing.
Fair enough.
I think it's a bit of fun.
I don't understand how D&D works enough to really appreciate it. I'm sure it's very clever. I'm sure it's very fun. But I basically do what Baldur's Gate tells me to.
So I used to DM a campaign for a bunch of players. We just did it as a series of one-shot campaigns.
Sorry, DM is Dungeon Master, not direct message, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And we ran a combination of 5th edition and home, which is like...
don't know what that means.
The 5th edition is just like the 5th version of the official rules with homebrew, which allows you to add like your own little unique rules to make the game more interesting, specific to your group.
Okay.
So the way we did homebrew was I allowed each player in the campaign to bring a weapon of their own choosing. They can
I
design a
think
weapon.
you might have told this on the podcast.
Have I actually?
Well, someone had a Wabberjack from Skyrim.
Yes,
right?
that was Bill the mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've told this already.
Oh well, there you go. I wish I still had the notes from like some of the weapons I came up with. Like I had one just called, what was it, the Raven Dagger, and the whole plan was to have the party go through this whole series of dungeons and quests to get this Raven Dagger. It was meant to be like this really sought after item, and all it did was if your character is stealthing while using it, it makes screams like a crow. Other than that, it's just a dagger.
Like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I think that was everything for you.
Oh, we should probably express as well. I'm going away in like for like 2 weeks ish. I'm on a big old road trip in the middle of October. So we're going to be recording a couple of episodes in advance.
Gonna go around on the Geordie Fun Bus.
We're going on the Geordie Fun Bus. We're off to Sunderland.
Look, it's the Fun Bus.
Can you see the Sky TV van?
I know what I was going to ask you.
What was it?
Tim, I sent you a trailer for a movie.
Oh yes, the Toxic Avenger is coming back.
You've seen the original, haven't you?
Of course, yeah. It's a classic.
One of the best B movies I've ever seen.
It's amazing, and I did not know that it was getting a return.
No. So can you explain the Toxic Avenger for anyone who doesn't know what it is?
So it is a
explain the original, because I don't really know the ins and outs of the new one.
No, I don't know the ins and outs of the new one either. But the original was a mid to late 70s or maybe early 80s B movie about a guy, and he basically fell into a vat of toxic waste that was just on the back of a truck.
Well, the way that he fell is important as well, if you remember. Do you want me to explain it?
He fell out a window. Didn't he?
So he worked in a gym, and there were the popular girls at the gym, and he fancied the most popular. And they thought it'd be really funny to tease this guy, make him wear a tutu so that he can get a kiss from this girl. But actually, it was a setup to make everyone at the gym laugh at him.
Oh, no.
So in order to run away from the entire gym laughing at him, he ran upstairs too quickly and fell out of a second-story window into a vat of toxic waste.
He then became the Toxic Avenger.
Do you remember who the bad guys in the Toxic Avenger were?
I don't. It's been a very long time since I've seen it.
They were just some bikers that like running over children.
What a movie. I need to rewatch.
It's just wild. But the new one looks good.
I have and I'm sure anyone who knows me about this, I have a love for shitty movies. They are my bread and butter, and one of my favorites that I've got on the shelf just down here, and I've just picked up my case of it, is this Leprechaun 5, Leprechaun in the Hood.
I've seen the original one with Warwick Davis.
Well, Warwick Davis was contracted to be the Leprechaun throughout the entire Leprechaun series.
God.
And
Jennifer Aniston's in the first one, isn't she?
It's her first acting role, yeah.
God.
So, Leprechaun 5, Leprechaun in the Hood, is starring Ice-T, right?
Of course, yeah.
Of course. Warwick Davies, yep, that makes sense. And those are the only two big names. But I thought you might get a bit of a kick out the blurb of this.
Go on then, treat me.
And then we'll round things off. After a long and golden dormancy, the Leprechaun is brought back to life by three bungling rap artists looking to launch their music career. When Butch, Postmaster P, and Stray Bullet loot the local hip-hop mogul studio to fund their demo album, the threesome unwittingly end up with the secrets of Mac Daddy's success, a magical flute. Their gigs instantly turn golden, but a bloodthirsty leprechaun and an angry Mac Daddy are hot on their trail, leaving a wake of destruction tainted by politically incorrect limericks.
Jesus.
Took a left turn at the end there that I didn't expect. Never expected.
Is that your favourite bad movie?
I have a few. I'm looking at the shelf here. I've got Nicole Kidman's first ever movie, BMX Bandits, of which there are 2 BMX scenes.
How many bandit scenes are there?
0.
Okay, cool.
Sex and the City 2, I've got a copy of here.
But hold on, because you have told me, and I know we said we're going to wrap up. You've told me that you enjoy watching Sex and the
Not
City.
not enjoy. My girlfriend and I enjoy watching Sex and the City and pausing to bitch about how they're all awful people. There's a difference between that and enjoying the show.
You enjoy watching it.
We
You
enjoy the
enjoy
experience
watching the experience of watching it, which is the same to me as enjoying watching the show.
No, I think that's really
you
different.
have a good time while watching the show and pausing to bitch about it. The second half is in its own little brackets. The main point here is that you enjoy watching Sex and the City.
For a bitch with my girlfriend. The show is awful.
No.
People are
Let's
awful.
forget the brackets at the end. You enjoy watching Sex and the City.
But, okay, if you cut the sentence off early, you're missing important context.
No, you're not.
You are.
No,
Yeah.
you're not at all.
You are.
You enjoy watching Sex and the City to bitch about the people and the girls.
Yeah.
It's one sentence, right? The brackets, not that important. Because you have taken time. No, you've taken time out of your day. Ooh, what can I do that I enjoy? I'm going to put Sex and the City on. So that I can bitch about it later.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to cut that middle bit out so that you just say exactly. Nice, the power of editing. Tim, would you like to plug anything?
Yeah, The Fanatic. Go listen to it. It's wrapping up really slowly, excruciatingly slowly. Other than that, Wembembo and everything. What about you, Joey?
Do you want to plug anything? Listen to this thing that is excruciatingly slow.
It's what it is right now.
I would like to plug a band. You should listen to The Head Shrinkers. Their latest single is Bang Bang. It's my friend Garen is the lead singer. He's very good. And they are a very, very good band.
Wow.
Listen to them.
Amazing.
If you want to get plugged on Two Blokes from Blighty, drop me a DM after.
Send us your measurements.
Send us your measurements. Tim, is there anything else you want to say to the audience?
Take that, you bastards.
Take that, yo bastards.
You bastards.
Yo bastards. Bye.